So they and I had a conversation on the 29th. They were a referral from someone already in my world. I followed up with them on the 30th, which is when they scheduled both their transformation table and their one-to-one call.
Cool.
And then on the 2nd is when they had their transformation table. They did not sign into any package that day. And then on the 6th, they had their one-to-one follow-up, which they did show up for. I gave them a proposal and 24 hours to either think on it or whatever the circumstance was. And they said yes on the 7th. They were booked into my group. The original proposal was for $15K. They paid in full, and so they got a bit of a discount at $12K.
Nice. Awesome. Before I go and do anything else, because I have like 4 minutes, so this might be where I end it, and I'll just send this over to you. Like, how does this feel for you in terms of like a couple of different things? One, in terms of clarity for you. Two, in terms of ease for you, and three, in terms of like anything that like, yeah, does it actually solve the problem that we came here to solve? Let me check in with that.
It feels really clean, really clear, and pretty easeful to add into. I'm going to look into, is there a way to like systemize it by when someone books? Can I have that automatically filled, or is that something that I'll do manually throughout the week? But overall, it feels really just clean and simple and straightforward. And I'm excited for the data that I'll get around their booking process. And I think that will give me the an insight of what's going on behind the scenes with potential clients. And then overall, one of the things that I was struggling with my original spreadsheet was I had it kind of piecemealed in several different sections, and it wasn't showing the full journey. And I really feel like I'm getting the full start to finish through line here with each person.
Nice. Yeah. And so like this is the cool part. It's like I love doing this here, and I'm recognizing how much I enjoy it, because it ended up making sure that we know how we're getting someone from point A to point Z, so that they can actually grow with the movement that you're leading, and actually like get the chance to benefit through their own transformation, right? And so I feel pretty good about this here right now. I think we'll probably just leave it at with just these two right now. And then what I'll do, Brittany, is that I'll continue. Either I'll do it, or you can do it. But I'll probably use the same exact structure for now and build on it a dashboard, right? And the dashboard then would be I keep wanting to not show it. Another part of me is like, but then you're gonna show it. But the dashboard would be like the aggregated information. So it's like, okay, in general, how long, and I'll probably do that on the side, like how long does it take before someone goes to each step. It'll also look at the percentages on it as well, and that's probably what I'll look at first. So before the number of the amount of time, that's like an extra information. What we really need to know is like, I'll share my screen again with it real quick. And it's fun. Like I do this here, but a lot of this is just like all right, what, like how do like people track sales? You know what I mean? Like, but it's just like, I don't know. It wasn't taught to me. Like it was like I'm like once I got, I was like, oh, this is it. Like this is all we're doing. And so I think I have to stop sharing my screen real quick just to get us into a new tab. I don't know. There was something else that was going on. It wasn't this share screen. Let me see if I can pull it up for us. Okay. So I would need to figure out how to get us and do. I don't know what is going on here. Okay. So what ended up happening is I couldn't find like how to add another sheet to it, and it's my. Okay. We're going to come back to this in a bit. So let's see if this changes it. It doesn't. There we go. Here we go. We're back. We got it now. All right. So I'm going to show you this now. You still got like 1 minute or two?
I'm good.
Okay, cool. So if I share this here. Okay. So this one right here, like let's say that this is our daily inputs, was our first sheet. Yeah, I couldn't get access to this earlier. That's why I had to go back and redo it. And this would be our dashboard. And I'll probably also have like a page where we can have like the past, where you can just go and like copy each month's down. All right. But I'll probably create for this dashboard, I'll create another thing where it says here's the date to be something in connection. I'm sure whatever it ends up being. And then we'll go back to transformation tables again. So I'll have like a similar structure, but then I'll just kind of have a so I'll probably have like number of people connected, right? So this is like number. And then from that number, I would also have in there, you could, we didn't capture like how many people you invited, but so I would probably just go and say like, what percentage scheduled. So it'll be percent sched, percent, percent show, and then percent close. That'll come underneath this. And I have found it to be helpful to have it like in two different ways here, and like you can maybe let us know what works best for you. But this one's like there's one that's like in aggregate and one is relative. So what is it? Absolute, and the other one's relative. Are you familiar with that?
Not really.
Okay. All right. So let me try and put it out here real quick. And then like once we do this, you'll see that the same thing would apply for the other one. And then I'm gonna take off.
Cool.
All right. Okay. So what I would probably want to do here, and I'm actually watching me on the live stream do this versus actually being in the sheet. There we go. So what I would likely do here is say, what's today's date? It's the 26th. Great. Right. I would go on and I would go in and say, let's make a formula that says count if, and I might have the wrong components of it all, but count if that anchored down is equal to this day. That did not work as I wanted it to. Oh, because I'm in a completely different year. All right, cool. So I went through this, and there was one person, according to this, that had a connection with on the 26th, right? And so like that'll give me like a starting point here, and then I can then go out and say, count if. It's basically the same things over and over again. So count if this range here for the schedule, whatever that total amount is, divided by, and it could be the count if again, or I already had it like numbered out here. So there's a way to do this here. There's no, well, I don't know why that wouldn't be, oh, because I didn't give it a sense. All right, I'll spend some time on this. I don't know if this is actually how I want to do it. I might be like, oh, other people that we connected with that day, like it's probably less count if and more VLOOKUP, like all the things. Like I have to try and look at it and see, like, okay, like all the people we connected with that day, what percentage went through, so on and so forth. Like we're trying to figure out what the right dashboard is based on it, But I think that will give us like a sense of to how this would work. Or maybe I'm like, it's harder for me to do it on a day by day basis, so we'll do it another way. Not necessarily sure just yet. We will figure that out. But the key here is like now that we have like the individual daily inputs, then we get a chance to come and say, okay, how do we want to be able to construct this so that there's only two, we can read the story here, but when we get to hundreds, like what is the story telling us? When it gets to this month, what is the story telling us? Or this week, what is the story telling us? All right. And I'll probably build it out. For me, I know Excel, and so I'll probably build it out via Excel first. And then once I have it here, I'll probably end up updating it manually to understand, like, do I even have what I want to have? Or am I like, because I can be really quick on getting into the what's it called, the automation of it all. But then it's like I automated something that I didn't need. And it took me like, and then I have to undo that automation without messing up the things that I didn't need and such. So I kind of just like, let me just play it out, um, see what the spreadsheet needs to actually be, and then decide, do I want to do it in here, or like would it actually be easier for me to bring it into like a go high level or something where like there's additional support to calculate. Maybe they already do these reports, and but like I just need to know from like the brass tacks, like how does this work? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that makes
Okay.
sense.
All right, Brittany. So thank you for playing. Thanks for coming on here live to do this. Let me check in with you. What are some of your insights from this here? When I say what are some of your insights, you know that I'm meta. So it could be about the spreadsheet itself. It could be about like the interaction we just had. It could be about being live. It could have absolutely nothing to do with any of that stuff at all. You know. But why don't you share with us some of the insights you got, and we'll wrap for today.
Sure. What's really shining through for me is how data can be so just exceptional at giving us insights and giving us feedback without it being like this personal layer that creates like stories and doubts and question marks along the way. For anyone that's listening, like I have a deep inner perfectionist that I work with. And so, like, seeing something like a spreadsheet is kind of that win-win where it's like, oh, this is exciting because like there's ways that you can kind of intentionally bring in that perfectionist, but it's really just creating a data set so that I can see like, okay, this is what's working. Let's double down. This is where there's an edge or like something needs refinement. Let's take a look at that. But it gets to be from this really neutral space of like business is neutral and feedback. I'm the person, but I'm not like wrapped up in it in my stories or in the emotions around it. While also knowing that it's important to hold that space for the emotional body and the human experience and all of that too. But it's really like this like overarching umbrella of just finding systems and processes and solutions that feel really good, feel really exciting. Because I think that there's so many ways to do business. There's so many ways to track information, to track leads and whatnot. And it's just really slowing it down and be like, okay, what works? How do I operate? Like what makes sense? What feels exciting and aligned? And like how do we create a solution from all of that?
Nice, nice. Well, Brittany, I'm grateful for you. Thanks for playing. Thanks for coming in this space and playing in this area here. I love these insights that we have along here, and it's like I'll go. I'll share one since we're both in this space right now. For me, what's interesting is like I'm experiencing myself as I'm going through this, and I am there's a twinge of excitement, a twinge of imposter syndrome, a twinge of oh no, what did I just do? um a twinge of wow, I'm also like I'm really surrounded by really awesome people who can just say yes, and such. And then there's also like an inner part of me that's just like my insides are very steady, right now. And I think that there's something about this where it's like, okay, we're gonna build this in live. I'm like, I know it's gonna be messy. I'm gonna be trying to think this through as we go through it. The imposter part, or like the part that's chastising me, is like I'm like to myself, I'm like, you should have already had this ready. It'd be so much better if you just had it ready. You could just like tweak it and all this stuff. But I think that like that part keeps me, and I like to play real with you, Brittany, and everyone, every outlier out there, where it's like, here goes what's happening inside. That part of me keeps me, because that's how my perfectionism shows up. It's like, oh, um, as a leader, I should have this already set up so that when you come in, like you're just updating the tool rather than we're building it together. Like, all those thoughts are in the mind, and then it feels really overwhelming to go and be like, I have to build all the tools before I can even go help anyone. But I only know these tools because I was helping people, and like so it's like this catch 22 that took place, and I eventually said, you know what, I'd rather be able to be out there messy and do the work, and then I'm like, the way I describe it, Brittany, is like the best is yet to come. This is not my best yet. You know what I'm saying? Like the best is yet to come. And like imagine 15 years later, like that's where I like to be. So I'll play with you today in this space. All right.
Well, and if I could reflect the authenticity and the realness of an entrepreneur's behind the scene, at least from me, like it's very inspirational. It shows that
Mhm.
like it doesn't need to be perfect before you can help someone else. Like it's the realness of being a leader in that space and being grounded throughout it. So I'm grateful that you were open to being messy with it today.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I think about this a lot because I'm like, there's gonna be a day where I'm just like, no, this is like, I'm not doing this way. I'm not gonna like, I don't need to be messy in this way. And so I'm really glad. Like, this moment has been recorded forever, right? In the sense that like I don't have to be I don't have to keep reliving this, nor is it that like I can talk. I would need to talk about it from a kind of like a people can go on the journey. It's documented. I'm
Mhm.
like, oh, I know what it's like to go step into something and have it feel messy. Did you watch my 10,000 minutes? They're all recorded. They're all out there. My first 10,000 minutes of live streaming, like this is it. We were making it up. Now you see these shows and you see these things and you have these people here. But like, go watch. It's right there. I love that element, but it's while it's being created, it's like, oh yeah, I know this is we're gonna go somewhere with it, you know. Well, Brittany, thanks for playing. Thanks for playing in all the ways. I hope you also had a good experience, just like being on the live element of it, and just like once I had this thing set up, I could always just like hit go. Just like, do you want to do this? Yeah, sure. And like this time ended up being able to have multiple uses for it. So, Brittany, we're gonna end here. Outliers. This is the kind of stuff that we do in various spaces here. Like I'm constantly my whole being is saying, how do we help you? How do we, given that you are awesome, how do we make sure that you're able to bring that out to the world on on as consistent and sustainable as a basis as possible, over and over and again with purpose? And so, you saw us building here in real time. I'd like to focus on, as much as I'm like, oh, like shouldn't this already be done? My thing is that I'm not here to teach you a course. You don't need that. I'm here to help you with what you are actually here to do, and we work on that in real time with your real issues and like as necessary. And over time, yes, we will more tools and so on and so forth. If any of this feels like it's right and aligned for you, come and join us in the movement. Like this is what we do. Like it's just serve and build and co-create like over and over and over again. So you can go to the movement, you can click the QR code that's in this video, or you can go to school.com/outlier, and that will take you over to the Outlier Edge movement. You can come in and join us for free. All right. Until then, remember this though, be you on purpose. Journey on.